All right, welcome into episode number 63 of Tunesday Tuesday, brought to you by the Boston Chris Show. So excited to have you guys here tonight for our 63rd and 64th episodes tonight. The first episode here right now is episode 63, and we are with special guest Will Wesley tonight. Very excited to have Will here on the show finally. This has been almost a year in the making. We've been chatting with Will about doing this. Let me tell you a little bit about Will Wesley. Will is a country rock and Americana artist, a storyteller whose sound blends a soulful edge with country rock energy into heartfelt storytelling. Born in Baker, Louisiana, Wesley was raised with a rebellious spirit and a love for music inspired by his father's guitar. By age 15, he was sneaking into bars to perform with a beat-up six-string and a fire that would soon define his music career. He paved his path in the Baton Rouge blues scene, performing and touring alongside with legendary figures. Served as Grady Champion's music director for 5 years, his talent has earned him 2 International Blues Challenge regional victories and a reputation as one of Louisiana's fiercest young guitarists. Guys, we are super stoked to chat with Will Wesley right here on Tunesday Tuesday. Let's get into it with Will right now. Will, how's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
Man, it's going good. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. I love the vehicle interviews because that means you're on the go and you're hustling out there, right?
You know, man, I'm literally in my tour van as we speak, going from tour to tour, man. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm so honored to be on the show today.
So where are you located geographically right now?
Right now, man, I am in Mississippi. I'm around the Clarksdale area, man.
So one of the blues capitals of the world, right there, Clarksdale.
You know it, man. It's a blues Christmas for old Will Wesley.
Yeah, that's kind of serendipitous because you are a very bluesy type of artist, aren't you?
Well, you know, I've definitely come up with roots in the blues. There's no doubt about it. It's a music that it's so expressional, and you can really put your soul into it, man. So even in country music, a lot of country rock I do, there's always a hint of blues there.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just playing your newest single, which is called Bottom of the Bottle, which is very 80s rock. It has a lot of 80s rock vibes in it. Like, I wouldn't put that anywhere near country. So talk a little bit about the new single.
You know, the way you put it is exactly the way we wanted it. You know, we wanted to do something different on this single. We wanted to kind of go back to the retro rock sound, even though it's not a sound that I normally lean towards. We wanted to kind of go back and bring that arena rock 80s feel to the next 2 singles. And with Bottom of the Bottle, we wanted to just have the loud, proud, screaming guitars and the retro sound all the way around. And, you know, I was really surprised at the reaction we've gotten for the single. People have really been taken to it and really, really just getting into the vibe of the nostalgia, you know. So I'm glad it's hitting its mark, man.
Is the strategy behind releasing something so different than your normal catalog? Is the strategy to find new listeners, or is it more or less to show a different side of yourself to your current fans? Or is it a little of both?
It truly is a little bit of both. You know, we wanted to show the versatility, you know, as a songwriter, as a guitarist, and a singer. You know, I come up in country music, but I've always considered myself a student of music. And with Bottom of the Bottle and my next single coming out next year, Freeborn Ramblin' Man, we're kind of experimenting with the notion of, you know, crossing genres, but also leaving a lot of the fans and the new listeners with a more nostalgic feel. I've been hearing from people lately, and you know, the nostalgia is definitely there in music today, man. People are really wanting to hear some of the retro and the old style. Even in country, it's the 90s country movement right now. And, you know, we kind of wanted to go back to a late 80s, 90s sound and rock just to throw it out there. So it's a little bit of both, you know, to get new listeners, but also to show the versatile side.
Yeah, I think it's cool too, like almost like an update, right? Yeah, I guess it is very retro. I guess that is the correct word for it. But like coming back to those vibes from yesteryear, but putting the modern spin on them, or an original song from today in an older style. What do you like doing most as a songwriter? Is it more original, or just trying to kind of find a box and then write a song for that box?
You know, as a songwriter, man, I'd have to say that I love the freedom of songwriting. I love being able to jump from classic country to Americana to more rock, more blues. To me, songwriting is expressional, but it's also freedom, man. It's the freedom of being who you are, and people change. People that artists evolve, artists' tastes change, and a lot of times I feel that songwriting evolves with the person. So the freedom of songwriting is really what drives me.
And how does your songwriting work? Is like, how do songs find you?
I always had this weird theory, man, that the ideas are just right above our head and we just reach up and grab them. Songwriting has always found me in a sense. The minute I picked up a guitar, I didn't pick up the guitar to be an accomplished guitar player or a session player. I picked it up as a tool to express my songwriting. And to me, songwriting comes from a very honest place. You can write some of your best songs in 2 minutes, and you can spend 3 hours working on a song and write the worst song of your life. It's something that comes natural and something that comes from inside of you.
And when does the genre like kind of poke its head into the process? Is that more in the studio, or are you hearing stylistics as you're writing the tune as well?
That's a wonderful question, man. I think it's a little bit of both. When I originally wrote Bottom of the Bottle, it was kind of written from the avenue, believe it or not, of a kind of a country rocker. But when we got in the studio and started kind of listening to the potential, we come to the conclusion that this song doesn't need Fender Telecasters and acoustic guitars as much as it needs high-end Les Pauls and Marshall half stacks.
Yeah. I love that.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, I believe that the studio does have an aspect into the creation of the song. Because a lot of times I'll write a song and it comes out of the studio quite different from what I had in my head, but a lot of times we like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of times, like, the genre or style of a song won't show its head until you're in the studio with it, and it can change too. Like, you could have written a country song and come out with a more rock or edgy song in the studio just because of something that presents itself in that. And there's just such different vibes writing in studio work. Let's talk a little bit about the song that we're going to feature tonight. I appreciate how well this worked out. We had to reschedule twice, but the way it worked out it was so well because you have a Christmas song and it's 2 days before Christmas. And it just so happens it's one of my favorite Christmas songs too. So what was the kind of the reason to release a Christmas song, and tell us about the one you did release this year?
When it came to a Christmas song, I'm always honest and candid with the listeners and supporters and friends out there. I had not had it in my plans to do a Christmas song this year. We had released some really heavy singles. We had released a lot and had some great responses. And I really was not in the mindset to do a Christmas song. And it was my management that called me, and we were talking about it, and they were like, "Look, there's a lot of people out there this year that it's been a tough year. They want to get in the Christmas spirit." And she, both of my managers, Star and Yulia, told me, take some time, think about it, and come up with a song that you think will kind of bring back the Christmas spirit. Well, man, I started researching it, and I was thinking I can write a song, and and then I stumbled upon the old "I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day," and I started researching how it was like a classic poem from the 1800s, and I got to thinking, I can update this. I can compose something. I can write something, and I was working with a brand new production team out in Houston, Texas, Panhandle Recordings. And when I got there with me and my producer Vince, we sat down and I just took a guitar and started doing it really retro classic, and before you know it, we created the magic there. We listened to it, and from there, it was crazy. I composed a song, and I just had this great idea for a music video that we can do. And I think this is the quickest single we have ever done. And I cannot say that I'm just so proud of how well it's come out.
It's so funny how that is. Like, the story is almost all the same. Like, so quick, it came together so fast. Like, and Christmas can be such a last minute thing that people that the industry even thinks about, right? Because like the summer is so super busy for an artist, and then by the time the summer's over, you just kind of want to take a break. And by the time your break is over, there's Christmas. And if you want something to come out during the holidays, you got to start working on it late summer. I mean, that's the way it works. You got to do it late summer. But
That's right, man.
I love the song just because it's not your typical song that everybody releases every year, and so that's pretty dope. We're excited to play it tonight. I was just saying that every week we allow, or not allow, but we ask the special guest to choose a song of the week from a different artist. This is very selfish for me because I like to learn of new artists, and the best way to learn of new artists for me is to ask a songwriter. Songwriters are not going to steer you wrong. The song that is Will's pick of the week is a song called "Friday Night" by Florian Fox. So, of all the songs in the world, why did you pick this one?
Well, there's many, my friend. The first is that me and Florian Fox work together a lot. We tour together. I tour with him in Europe. He tours with me here in America. But also, I'm a big fan of his music. And his newest song, Friday Night, I thought was a very good classic honky tonk kind of tune. And I'm kind of wanting to spread a little love to my friend out there, who I'm a big fan of. Beyond our collaborations, I'm a big fan of his music, and that's why I decided to pick Florian Fox, Friday Night.
Yeah, and he just to give people some context, he is a Swiss rockabilly star. And so they do like Will was saying, he'll tour over there with Florian, and Florian will tour over here with him. What a great idea, by the way, just to do that. I wish more people would do that. It's just brilliant, man.
Well, man, I appreciate that. I believe in me and him are kind of in this boat together, trying to get out to the people. And once again, I can't thank you enough for having me on the show and giving me that opportunity to meet your listeners. And I hope that they're enjoying the music out there.
Yeah, no problem, man. Let me tell folks where they can follow along with you. It is willwesleymusic.com, WILLWESLEY music.com. The social medias or Facebook is at Will Wesley Music. Let's see, Instagram is also Will Wesley Music. TikTok, Will Wesley Music. Everything's the same, except YouTube, which is at Will Wesley-official. So follow everywhere, your favorite platform. And Will, I appreciate you taking some time with us tonight, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me on the show, man. I hope that we can get together a little later next year and talk again.
Sure, man. Merry Christmas to you, and we're gonna get into the music.
Okay, man. Merry Christmas to you.
All right, have a good night, man.
You too, man.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into the music here again. It's just so cool having this show where we can chat with new songwriters every single week. Not new, but different songwriters every single week. Yeah, it's cool because of that reason. And Will Wesley being on the show is pretty awesome. And he's got a new song out called Bottom of the Bottle that I hope you guys will check out. We did play it as our intro earlier. But without any further ado, guys, here is the official music video of the brand new Christmas single by Will Wesley, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day.
Hey, baby, is that you?
Hey, Fox, it's Wesley.
Oh, hi, Wesley. What's going on?
Just kind of getting back from a tour. How about you?
I'm on tour here outside Albuquerque, and, it's the holiday season. I'm away from home, and I miss my girl. What about you?
Well, it's funny. I've got the complete opposite problem, man. Between trying to tour, write songs, doing everything that I do out there on the road, trying to keep things together, I get back and the label actually wants me to do a Christmas song. And can you believe, how am I supposed to get in the motivation and the Christmas spirit, at a time like this? Come on.
I understand you, man. But, I'd rather be in your shoes because Christmas is about family, and you should be with your family. So I'd love to be where you're at right now, but maybe I can help you out and put you in that Christmas spirit. There's a song that I remember when I was a little boy. We would sit around the Christmas tree and we would sing this song together. I don't know the English words to it, but in German it sounded somewhat like this. Ich hört die Glocke am Weihnachtstag, die altbekannte Lieder klingen.
Hey, man. You just gave me a great idea. Man, let me get back in touch with you soon. Hey, thanks, man. And I really appreciate it.
All right, you take care, buddy.
I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and mild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. I thought as how these days had come, the belfries of all Christendom had run so long, unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair I bowed my head, there is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Peal the bells more loud and deep, God's not dead nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. We peal the bells more loud and deep, God's not dead nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Oh, hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, I miss you too. I miss you too. But the tour's almost over, and I'll be home by tomorrow night. I love you too. Merry Christmas. Sleep well.
Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. It's cold out there, but we've got something that just might warm you up. Will Wesley has found the Christmas spirit with his take on the Christmas classic, I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, and it's dedicated to his friend and tour mate, Florian Fox.
I heard the bells on Christmas Day from Will Wesley, and Will Wesley's pick of the week is from his buddy, Florian Fox. Here is Friday Night.
Well, the city lights up in a glow of neon. Button and a white shirt, I put my blue jeans on. The streets fill up to the sound of a guitar whine. Gotta get going if we're gonna have a good time. Pick up the girl, meet the gang, head downtown, well, I'll say honky-tonkin', getting up and getting down. Honky-tonkin', tearing up this guitar town. Honky-tonkin', there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee. There's a band in every window down on Broadway. Latest country fashion on display. Tonight a lovely cowgirl meets a cowboy. Sawbuck in the tip jar brings joy. Here's to the girl in the wedding gown, bottoms up, glasses down. Honky-tonkin', down, honky-tonkin', tearing up this guitar town. Honky-tonkin', there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee. Midnight, half-past tipsy, buy another round of Tennessee whiskey. The band cranks up the volume to 11. That's when you're in honky-tonk heaven. It turns me on to tie one on. We'll all get home at the crack of dawn. Honky-tonkin', down, honky-tonkin', tearing up this guitar town. Honky-tonkin', there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday night in Music City. Honky-tonkin', getting up and getting down. Honky-tonkin', tearing up this guitar town. Honky-tonkin', there's no place I'd rather be on a Friday night in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, huge thank you to Will Wesley for being my guest tonight for episode 63 of Tunesday Tuesday, brought to you by the Boston Chris Show. Thank you so much, Will. Make sure you guys are following along with Will Wesley at willwesleymusic.com. Follow along on all of his social medias at Will Wesley and at Will Wesley Music, that is. And, of course, make sure you are requesting his single. Bottom of the Bottle is the brand new single, as we played earlier in the show. And thank you, Will, for picking Florian Fox's Friday Night right here for the pick of the week from Will. Episode 63 is in the books, but you don't have to go far for episode 64, which will start in exactly 90 minutes with my friend Travis Christian from Weeping Cosmonaut, one of my favorite bands on the entire planet Earth. It's going to be here in 90 minutes. Another Christmas song, another new single, another pick of the week. If you guys are following along out there and you're watching live, you can follow at the Boston Chris Show everywhere. This show will also go out as a podcast on your favorite podcasting platform in about 2 weeks. So follow along those places as well. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight, and I'll see you guys very, very shortly.